Hello, children. You all have studied about adaptation of various living organisms. Today, we'll be learning about their classification. And why is classification required here? Because it is difficult to study and remember all the organisms in this diverse living world at the same time. So, classification helps us in this respect. Many scientists have been using different criteria and independently classifying plants and animals. But later, Linnaeus introduced binomial nomenclature in 1758. In a binomial name, the first word is called generic name or genus or genetic epithet, and the second word is called specific name or species name or specific epithet. What exactly is binomial nomenclature? The word nomenclature is derived from two Latin words, that is nomen, which means name, and clare means to call. So it means to call by name. It can be defined as the system which is responsible for giving name to an organism is nomenclature, and binomial means two. So when you are naming or calling, it should be universal for all species. That is very much required. As you can see, the common name of a plant varies from place to place. A paddy is known as Nellu, Vrihi, Dhan, Vadlu, Dangar in all different languages from Tamil to Gujarati. So, children, can you imagine the confusion created when you do not know the different common name? So, to avoid confusion, here binomial nomenclature or a scientific name is very important. In binomial nomenclature, there are two parts, the genus name and the species name. Always the genus name is written using capital letter, whereas species is written using small letters. Species name is often descriptive and it is written in italics or underline. Classification scheme. The classification scheme, the hierarchy is always, it starts with domain wherein all organisms are present. Then there is a kingdom. It can be kingdom Animalia or kingdom Plantae. Then further it is divided as phylum, class, order, family, genus and species, wherein that one type of organism is present. Let's look at this classification. The common name is a dog. So the domain is Eukarya, kingdom Animalia, because it belongs to kingdom of animals, it is an animal. Phylum Chordata, which has a backbone. Class Mammalia. Order Carnivora. Family Canidae. Genus Canis. Species Canis lupus. And its subspecies or the scientific name is Canis lupus familiaris. So what do you think, children? Next time you look at a dog, what should you be calling it? Canis lupus familiaris. That's the scientific name of a dog. Let's learn about a cat. So, for the cat, the kingdom it belongs to is Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Carnivora, family Felidae, genus Felis, species Domestica. So what will you be calling a cat? The scientific name for a cat is Can anyone guess? It's Felis domestica because only the genus and species name are considered while giving a scientific name. So here the cat will be called as Felis domestica. Standard system for naming things. This is a very standard system for naming any living organism. Linnaeus described and named more than 6,000 animals and more than 4,000 plants using Latin scientific name. Scientific name does not replace but instead further defines common name. So there are pros and cons as well. So Linnaeus developed the scientific naming system which is still used today. Linnaeus classification system has 7 levels. The Linnaean classification system also has limitations. So the levels of classifications, as you all can see, there is domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. This is about a man. So when you have to describe or give a scientific name to a man, to the species man, the scientific name will be Homo sapiens. So you can see the kingdom is Animalia, phylum Chordata, class mammals, order primates, family hominids, genus Homos, species Homo sapiens. Let's go to a mango plant. Look at the name the mango has. So usually when we talk about mangoes, which is our favorite, we call it a common name, it's mango, right? So when we are talking about the scientific name, it has to be considered by its genus. Look at the genus, that is Magnifera, and the species is Indica. So whenever you give a scientific name to mango, it's Magnifera indica. Magnifera indica. Here, some more things are given to you about humans. I have already explained in the earlier slide. And now there's potato. Now potato, you will be writing the genus and species and calling out the scientific name for a potato. So isn't it interesting, children, to know the different scientific names which we never knew?